Greatest place to spend money. If only I had money. Well, we are back at it again. Got a quick 2-day ahead of us. We had a massive storm roll through this morning just before it was time to take my boy to school, and he was hoping that lightning was going to strike the school and then he wouldn't have to go, but that didn't happen. So got him off to school, and then it is 12 something right now. Got report time in about 15 minutes, so it's nice to not have to be out at the crack of dawn. But had breakfast and tea and everything at home, and did a little bit around the house, and now we're off to fly 3 legs today, overnight in Orlando, and then 2 legs tomorrow. So late starts, late finishes, nothing to complain about. I'm position 2 for the whole trip, so I don't have to deal with people too much. Alright. My kingdom awaits. I got work to do. I'll see you. Largely uneventful day, which was great. No. Here we go. Funniest moment of the day. We're boarding for our final flight down here to Orlando. And there's this woman, so she's sitting back row, but she's the aisle seat, and there's 2 people who are going to obviously take middle and window seats on her side. So she's just standing waiting for them to show up, and they happen to show up. And while she's standing there, they're trying to figure out what to do with their bags. And we're pretty much done with boarding. Almost all the overhead bins are closed except for one, and there is space in that overhead bin. And the flight attendant who was near them directed them to place their bags in that overhead bin that had space available. They didn't want to do that, and proceeded to try to open up all the other overhead bins that were closed and were full, and then were perplexed on what to do. And sometimes, do you ever feel like, is this real life? Is this really real life? This is happening. So I had one of those moments, and it's funny because I actually really like this whole mask thing, because whatever's going on, you don't see what's happening here. But as they're also clearly unable to figure out that both of their bags will fit if they turn them on their sides, like every other bag is, they can't figure that out. The woman who's standing here in the back, she looks at me and I look at her, and she really looks like she's about to cry laughing at them trying to figure it out. And it was such relief that I'm not alone in this moment, that someone else understands how absurd what's happening is. And she and I looked at each other, and she starts laughing, and I'm trying to hold it in. And I lean over next to her, and I'm like, I'm gonna get fired one day. You can't make this stuff up. You really can't. But it's nice to know there are a few logical, rational people who observe the world as we do and understand that it's not that difficult. And if so, maybe, I don't know, maybe I should do like an informational video on how to put your bag in an overhead bin, or how to go to bins that are open and not closed, or, you know, how to turn it on its side so that more bags will fit. I don't know, like these things. But maybe people just won't watch them anyway. Okay, I'm tired. I'm going to bed. Very much looking forward to sleep. Yeah, why'd I have to think about that? Sleep, yeah. I'll see you in the morning. Oh, look at that. It's a beautiful Florida day out there. I need to get a few miles in. Just easy light running on my training program, which was for yesterday, but obviously didn't happen yesterday because we flew all day. So it needs to get done today, even though today is a rest day, so that I can be ready to work out tomorrow, which I will do on time. I think it's funny trying to be on a running schedule with a flying schedule at the same time, but I'm gonna go run. I'm gonna leave the camera because it's just like 20-30 minutes quick around the lake a couple of times or something, and then find out about breakfast and maybe get ready to fly. Well, aside from being exactly as hot as advertised or forecasted, pretty good run. I just checked in the hotel restaurant here is not currently open, so I may have to venture back out to get some food, but we'll see after a shower and some work on the computer. Well, I got most of the editing done from the last episode. Hope you enjoyed that one. But I've got about a half hour until van time. The weather has cleared up enough that I don't think we're gonna have any delays. Nothing's posted on our schedule yet. So yeah, we're gonna get ready and head out. We've got one leg down to Miami, 2 hours sit, one leg back to Charlotte. Easy breezy. And again, I'm the Gala King, so I don't have to deal with people. Yes, except for I just get to watch the shenanigans. Anyway, yeah, let's go to work. Well, it looks like we just might end up flying. So, the key card. Party out there. I love it when a trip ends without any drama or shenanigans. Love it. Perfect trip. Leg go home. So admittedly, that last trip really wasn't much to write home about, but this next one is, because we have more than 10 hours on the ground. We're going to Denver first thing in the morning, and we got plenty of time. I do have to get a long run in, but besides that, all day to explore, have fun. Just don't know about the crew, so we'll see what we've got in the morning. Today is different, very different. September 11th, but 20 years later, everything's felt really different today. Just waking up and getting ready. Yeah, we'll talk about that at some point. Let's get on the road. Every anniversary hits different, or differently, if we'd be correct. And this one, I guess, it's just crazy to think back 20 years, what was going on in my life and in my world. And while September 11th changed aviation dramatically at that time, aviation wasn't a part of my life then. And now it is. So, you know, I think, oh, there's a plane coming in. think that September 11th, its meaning changed to me when I got into aviation, because now you're directly in that line. It's a whole different thing. Make sure I got everything here. We're all set. Let's go. Spacious this place is. I feel like I need to bring the whole family. Yeah? Alright, well, I have to do 90 minutes. However far that gets me. 90. Ooh, look at the view of the roof. And nothing else. Lights. Yes. Alright. I got to do about 90 minutes of running because that's what training today requires. I don't know if I mentioned it already or not on the last video, but I am training for the Charlotte Half Marathon. No excuses, just going to get back out there and get to it. And it's been an ugly process of getting my body back in shape. My knees are not what they used to be, but you got to get it done. So, 90 minutes. It's noon right now, and hopefully everything will cooperate. It's supposed to be like in the 90s today, but should be okay. Just a slow, easy 90-minute run. So obviously I don't feel like carrying a camera for 90 minutes, but when I get back, we're going to explore the town. Crew is all scattering. One has plans, one's going shopping, and one's just gonna sit in front of the TV and watch football. So yeah, it's just gonna be me, but it's gonna be good. Well, I took a heavy beating in the sun, and Ohio State took a heavy beating by the Ducks. 6.8 miles. I'm done for. Stick a fork in me. I'm done. Stick a fork in me. But yeah, the day's young. It's 2 o'clock. I was thinking I might go out, probably gonna get some food, hors d'oeuvres, drinks, stuff, wander, and maybe catch a movie if there's a theater nearby here. Many opportunities, but number one is a shower. I'm dead. All right, y'all. What had happened was, if y'all are following the context of the day, it is September 11th, and Ohio State got whooped by Oregon. And then Colorado lost to Texas A&M, and now New York Mets are playing New York Yankees in New York on September 11th, 20th anniversary. Right. Okay, let me make sure I have good enough light here. It's crazy for me just realizing it's been 20 years. 20 years? Really? And at the same time, basking in the camaraderie and because 5-6 years ago, I had no concept of what this thing meant on the aviation level. I would say probably like 6-7 years ago, because I've been in, I lost track, but it's probably been about 6 years since I started, give or take 6 months. But it's just the way that you understand things differently when you're in a different group. And when you put on the uniform and you sit in that jump seat, you cannot, and I repeat, you cannot help but feel and understand, because that day changed aviation forever, and now we're here, and everything has changed as far as security, and everything's changed as far as procedure, and everything we do in our job has changed dramatically because of that day. And we can't help but remember those who we lost on that day. I appreciate and I affirm everybody who I've worked with. I I feel a high level of confidence, a very high level of confidence in the people I'm working with and the procedures that we've worked with in order to make sure that flying is safe. And it's been safe for the past 20 years, and I hope to make sure it remains safe for the next 20 years. But it's been a very interesting day. I laid down for a little bit, called home, had a nice FaceTime with family, and now I'm gonna go out. Place to spend money. If only I had money. Now, this is where I should have stopped while I was running, because this would have saved my life. This has only served to reaffirm my deep personal belief that baseball is the slowest, dullest game ever invented. Argue with me in the comments, but I'm just saying. But there's the Rockies Stadium. They're in Philly right now, hence the empty stadium. I need actual food, because, yeah, I haven't eaten a meal all day. Get me some food. Let's find something on the way back to the hotel. I think I forgot to mention the enchiladas were delicious. I was very satisfied by that. I'm just so tired. And I think this next block is the movie theater. I'm not gonna do it. I'm really not gonna do it right now because I'm exhausted. It is currently 8:56 p.m. I could do a movie if I were of a mind to do that. You know, 2 hours. Could. But I'm dead. I don't think there are words yet created for how tired I am, but it's 5 something in the morning. Man is at 6, so oof. My body is not happy. Just a little bit sore from yesterday, but that's what happens when you run. We'll be all right. We'll be all right. Well, it's about that time. Today is September 12th. And you know, I miss September 12th. We woke up in a world of uncertainty, but unity. And that unity was beautiful for as long as it lasted. And, you know, from the people who I've spoken to who were working through those times, and just the disposition of our customers on the aircraft, our passengers, was very much changed when aviation started back up. And there was a respect and an appreciation, you know. And, you know, I think of things like our military and you know, people who put their lives on the line to protect this country. And there was just, I miss the unity. I really miss the unity. And it's hard to believe it's been 20 years. And I really haven't seen it like that since then. So, I don't know. I really hope it doesn't take something like that again to get us all on the same page. I really hope we could all be united soon, very soon. Let's go fly. Leave the key card.
Concourse, this is your last and final boarding. Bye.
Largely uneventful flying, but I have to say it is so good that football is back. Mainly because there's things to talk about with people. Like we landed and it was like 10-minute taxi in, and the guy directly next to my jump seat, and I struck up a conversation about football and scores and who won and who lost and who's starting and who's sitting, and you know, turns out we're both from Ohio and we both cheer for Ohio football. And since my boys, the Bengals, they won in overtime at the last second, you know, heart racing. It was a good night. It was a very good night. Let's go home.
There have been many, many times when my words cannot take a hold on the road.
Well, it's been good to be back home for a little bit. Had a great time.
Number 4,
Did have one other thing I wanted to share with you about our last trip, because on the next to last flight we had a deadheading crew member who got to be a part of some of the CRAF flights that we've been doing, this Civil Reserve Air Fleet, basically. That's when airlines are kind of co-opted into assisting with operations. And I know just about every major airline has been helping with evacuation of refugees from Afghanistan. And ultimately, the deadheading crew member that we had just come back from bringing back a bunch of our servicemen and women back home. And that was awesome, just to hear her stories and everything. And of course, because these are classified missions and everything, you don't get to share as much about it, you know, when you're out doing it and all that other stuff. But, you know, once it's over, said and done, then, you know, you get those opportunities. And those go really senior, though, from what I'm seeing and hearing. All those crews are crewed by super senior people. So maybe one day somewhere over the rainbow, I'm going to get to be a part of that and just, you know, make a small difference somewhere in the world. But yeah, that's that. We got more flying coming up, hopefully good flying, probably hot flying, and stay tuned for that. I'll be seeing you then. Benjamin.